Already did that. Ow.
Hi everyone, I am here with Jimmy Britts, who was a NASCAR dash racer. Jimmy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Now, can you tell me a little bit about what got you into racing?
So it was the family business. My father had a little welding shop in Jacksonville, Florida, and loved racing, and he got involved at the local level. This could be a very long story, by the way.
That is okay.
So he built cars for people locally, and some of those cars ended up winning on a local and regional level. A little more progressive with the dirt racing industry, and this is, when I say this, I'm talking about like the early 70s.
Okay.
So I grew up in it and grew up building cars, and next thing you know, I want to race cars as well. I ran a few laps in a go-kart or two, and moderate success, and BMX bikes, moderate success. But in the race cars, we had some introductions to wins early, and that's one of the things you never get away from. You love to win, so you just keep doing it.
Chase that high.
Yes. So through the family business, we kept building race cars. My father had other people drive for him that were notable in the Jacksonville and North Florida area. And the natural progression was for me to jump into the seat. And we ran some dirt track races locally, won. It evolved into asphalt races. And it was a difficult transition, but we did it. That evolved into over 200 wins in series and local events and touring events over a 20-year span. A handful of championships, a handful of Rookie of the Year titles in different divisions, and including 5 wins and a Rookie of the Year title in the NASCAR Goodies Dash Series that we're here celebrating today.
That is very impressive. Now, can you tell me a little bit about that Rookie of the Year win? I'm really kind of curious to hear about that.
So it's funny you say that. I actually have 5 different Rookie of the Year titles.
Wow.
In 5 different series. In the Goodies Dash Series, it was probably one of the toughest ones I've competed against. It's a touring division, so you're going to a lot of different tracks and a lot of different places you've never seen before, never raced against these people before. A lot of people are funded well. We were not. We were funded by hard work and dedication, and that's what we did. We dedicated ourselves and our times and our finances to whatever it takes to win. The Rookie of the Year championship that I had in the Goodies Dash Series was the last rookie title that I had, and it was good. It paid well and came with a lot of recognition. So.
That's great. And do you have any fond memories or favorite races that you've ever done in your career?
That question's been asked before, and for whatever reasons, I have a great love for the short tracks. The shorter the track is, the better. And one of the oddest tracks that I've ever been to is probably one of my favorites, and that's the little short track in Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky. It's like they had a short track and they wanted to make it bigger, so they just meandered out through the field with some pavement and made it bigger. And it was part banked and part flat, and it was all over the place, but it was great fun. It was hard. It was a challenging course, so not many people could excel there. We happened to be one of the ones that could, so we did. We love that place. But there's so many great memories, great friends, and great acquaintances made along the way. When you're with these people competing in and out, it's a business for one, but it's also a team effort for everybody to put on this show for the fans at every different track in every different city. So you develop friendships. Sometimes they're tougher friendships than others, and sometimes they're really tight and long lasting. going back to the tracks for just a second, Bristol. I love the analogy that someone once used that Bristol is like flying a jet airplane inside the hangar. It's tough. You're busy there when you're running the little cars like this, especially because you can run them flat out. You can put your foot to the floor all the way around the track and build momentum, and it gets busy. You get busy in the car trying not to be busy.
And I mean, being a race car driver is a very unique experience. Can you describe what it feels like to be behind the wheel in the driver's seat of a race car?
Well, no, because it's something I've always done. It's my first time racing in motorsports was probably in the age 14 in the go-karts, and then stock cars the age 16, 17. So it's something I've done for 4 decades. There's exhilaration in one aspect, and then there's a sense of speed, a sense of all of your senses are just busy.
I am sure. And what can you tell our audience about what NASCAR means to you nowadays and what racing means to you now looking back at your career?
So I love auto racing, stock car racing specifically, road racing, sports car racing. I love racing. Not to promote or demote any particular series. I'd rather not speak to the stuff about NASCAR per se, but there's a deep love of the sport. And speaking of camaraderie and friendship, look at this guy here. Come here. This guy.
You got roped in.
Danny Bagwell is probably one of the best racers that was in the series. He's won a lot. I mean, the trophies speak for themselves. But on top of everything else, no matter what happened on the track, we're good friends afterwards.
That's right.
And before. And we can carry that on from one race to the next.
And how has keeping in touch been? Do y'all talk regularly, or do you mostly meet up at reunions like this?
Reunions like this, we really don't like each other, to be honest.
Nah, sometimes you'll see friends at a racetrack, like a snowball derby, somewhere like that, where a lot of guys go one time a year, and you'll see some of the people there. But it's this is really good though. It's good to get everybody together.
We're here with Mickey York, an icon in the Dash Series. Now, Mickey, give us a little history of your involvement with the Dash Series.
We started the Dash Series in '77 at North Wilkesboro and a race till 2004. And so we've got a lot of stories, a lot of good times, a few bad times, but I've enjoyed every bit of it.
Now, how many races did you compete in, do you know? And I know you won a few.
322.
322 races.
Yeah, 128.
128. That's a good percentage. Yeah. Now, did you ever have other people driving for your cars?
After I quit, Johnny Chapman come running in his car series. He took over as the Dash Series. And Johnny won the championship with the car. And we had a lot of fun with that because it was just whatever we wanted to do, we did. It was a lot of fun.
Now, you were very instrumental in a big part of the Dash Series because you ran about all the races, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, the series actually started in '75, and we started in '77. So, but we run all the races at Daytona. Every year down there we run that. Most all of them, I think I'm at the one that has the most races. But I don't know for sure. The way everybody talks, most of them's got about 280, 290. So we stuck around too long.
Well, no, you still look good, and you haven't changed a whole lot. And I raced against you some, and I was always looking at your rear bumper.
Yeah, that's when it was fun.
Well, it was fun. I mean, you saw the sport go from a grassroots to Daytona to the lighted tracks, and that was a big deal.
Yeah, it was, and we got on some race tracks that filmed us a little bit. There's a lot of races on YouTube that people look at now, so we've saw it grow and sort of graduate.
I know when Goody's got a hold of it, it really grew then. And a lot of the tracks, there were a lot of cars going home that were not qualifying.
Yeah,
so they had full fields.
We had 32 to 36 cars, and we was having 40 or 45 show up and send a bunch of them home. But you had to work to qualify, and that's what made good. And they started paying attention to it. I won the championship first year Goody came in, and they really made a difference.
Well, do you keep up with racing today?
A little bit. You know, I don't go to the racetracks anymore or anything, but I still have people that race a little locally and ask a little about the race cars and stuff. But most of the time I just watch them on TV.
Do you have any one event that really sticks out above the others during your Dash Series years?
Well, probably my favorite track in the series is Myrtle Beach. We won 3 times down there through the Goodies Dash Series, and that was one I always looked forward to going to Myrtle Beach. But wife fusses at me because she said they say there's a beach down there, but we've never seen it. So.
Well, it takes family.
Yeah.
You know, you have a big family behind you when you're racing, and you're out there driving, and they're worried to death in the stands or up on the pit box.
Yeah, but that was when I felt the best and the safest in the car. But we had a couple pretty bad wrecks, but nothing I couldn't get over. So it worked out good. And I tell people I raced for 40 years and I could still walk.
Yeah, you're getting around good.
Yeah.
Well, Mickey, appreciate you interviewing with us today. It's glad that you're here for the Goodies Dash reunion, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you, Rusty. I appreciate you coming by. Thank you.
You're welcome. We're here with Bill Hennecy, and he was involved in the Dash Series. And Bill, tell us a little bit about how you got involved with the Dash Series.
I'm like everybody else who wants to drive a race car. It's a dream, and that's what it is until you can get behind the wheel in some form of motorsports. That dream, I think, is going away presently because you got to have a gazillion dollars to get in a race car. My first actual race was at VIR in Virginia. I raced in the first Camel GT race in 1971 against Hurley Haywood and Peter Gregg. I was in a P1800 Volvo. And thereafter, I finished my second driver's school in SCCA. I ran Formula Vs for years. I ran a radial sedan in IMSA for 3 years. And then I wanted to go race in the Dash Series. So in '87, I went to Daytona and drove David Watson's car. I was back in '88, and that's the car that has the best history on it. The car had been driven by Andy Belmont, and he wanted Hickory in the car. It was a short track car. When I got down there, everybody goes, that's a short track car. You're not going to be able to run with that. We short pitted the first stop. Pitted on lap 16, took on fuel, which put me out of sync with everybody. So up until about 16 laps to go, I was third on the board. And I ended up being passed by Shauna Robinson and the guy that had Orange County Speedway. Or no, it was Ace Speedway. So I ended up fifth in a short track car, and that was like, wow, I can do this. The year before, I was running third and the back glass blew out of the car. So that's what got me there. I did 2 years of Dash Series TV. It's on YouTube. A lot of them have been put up there. The All-Pro Series, the Parts Pro Truck Series. Did 2 Winston West races, one at Bakersfield and one at Heartland Park for TNN. Originally helped Pat Patterson start his show Race Day on TNN, and went to his winter heat series that he had out at Canyon Raceway in Arizona. I've been able to do a lot because of broadcasting. That's a set of invisible keys that if you can do it, will open doors for you. And it's amazing what you can find out and how much you can learn. But I just wanted to be a race car driver. And like everybody else, I fell short in the world of finance.
And when's the last time you've been in a race car? Do you ever have the itching to get back in a race car?
I still have a Mazda Miata that I race in SCCA, in ITA. I had a Mazda RX-7 that I ran in SCCA. and those Formula Vs that I started in, this was like, you know, hey, I've gotten to do everything. I've gotten to race for 50 years. Maybe not as competitive as they'd like to be, but unless you're spending a lot of money, it doesn't happen. Marion Cox, the famous car builder down in Hemingway, South Carolina, first time I met him, I said, I want to drive a race car. He goes, that's fine. Don't let it get up on the table and eat your lunch.
Yes, race cars eat money. They constantly eat money.
No matter what you do, you better be planning on having a little bit back to take care of the next thing that you need to replace.
Well, thank you, Bill, for interviewing with us. And you're looking for a part-time job?
Well, you know, that's one of those things. I'll tell you off camera. So let's just go one more thing I need to say.
Okay.
What people don't realize is that you need to be able to promote yourself. You need to put yourself in a position that you gain visibility. I've always said that it's the most important person you need to know in your hometown is the banker. For when you walk in his bank and he sees you and recognizes you, that spreads among everybody that you're a good guy and you're reputable.
Thank you, Bill. Words of wisdom.
Well, thank you. I'd like to talk a lot more. What was I going to tell you?
Okay, I'm down to the closing remarks. Boy, aren't you glad I'm that close. Okay, I'm going to make my final pitch. The food trailer is outside just over next to the next building, so if you'd like to get something to eat, please do. Like I said, they don't work for free, so we want to make sure we treat them right. As far as the closing remarks I have, thank you everyone for coming. It's been most enjoyable to see a lot of you, all of you again, not just a lot of you, but all of you. Some of you know me, some of you don't, but I've made the Dash series, like Wayne said, my family for a number of years, and I really enjoyed that. And when they decided to stop it with the NASCAR, my time was pulled off of that, and I was put back on the Grand National series, that little series that runs on Sunday. But I did that for a few more years, and then I finally said I've had enough, I'm retiring. So with that, I'd like to thank everyone for coming again. I'll say that over and over again, and we'll hope to do this again soon. But we need to give Mike Condon another round of applause for putting this together.
So we're wrapping up here today at the Goodies Dash Series reunion at Hendrick Motorsports in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we're actually near the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We talked to so many neat people, from engine builders to car owners to drivers to just all sorts of people involved in the Goodies Dash Series.
It was an absolute treat to be able to meet so many instrumental players of this series. I had an amazing time, and I might not know a whole bunch about racing, but every time we come to one of these, I learn more and more.
Thanks to Mike Cogden for inviting us. Thanks for Jerry Hayslip for speaking with us and being a part of Goodies, which Goodies was very instrumental in the series. We really appreciate everyone watching. Stay tuned for more segments like these. Like, subscribe, and tell us more, Grace.
Yeah, absolutely. We had an amazing time. Every time we come to one of these events, I just think it's so impactful to see the old racers, the old builders, all getting together and reminiscing. Now, these people were competitors, but a very reoccurring theme that we saw here today was that above anything else, it's a family. And those values definitely bled through into today's event. And it was really touching my heart to be able to see this, especially on Veterans Day, with racing being a particularly American sport. I think that we have a lot to be proud of, and I'm very glad that we were able to come out today, Rusty.
Yes, I saw a lot of people that I haven't seen in years. Without their name tags, I wouldn't probably recognize them, but my engine builder was here. A lot of people I recognize and raced against, but it's all one family in the end. A lot of neat people here. Really appreciate them inviting us.
Absolutely. It was a real treat.
So I'm Rusty Wise.
And I'm Grace Smith.
And from the Wise News Network, from Hendrick Motorsports in Charlotte, North Carolina, have a great day.